My own parents hung me upside down from a tree and smeared honey all over me to attract crows. They still weren't satisfied. They called over beggars to mess me up even more. And why? Because my mom and my sister were both rare, high-born fire phoenixes. My sister was born a 7-colored fire phoenix. Me? Just a scruffy wild chicken. My dad was so ashamed he told everyone at a banquet that I had died at birth. After that, my sister got to live like a princess. Silk robes, royal meals, the whole deal. And me? I became a servant girl that anyone could order around. Then, on this big auspicious day, 2 princes from rival clans showed up at once to propose. My parents didn't even hesitate. They just handed me off to the human prince. Nobody saw it coming, but a few years later that guy went on to conquer all 8 realms. And just like that, I was sitting on the Empress throne. Meanwhile, the heavenly prince fell out of favor and got cast down to the mortal world. He ended up scraping by with my sister, barely surviving on scraps. When we crossed paths again, my sister had let jealousy completely take over. She detonated her own soul just to take me down with her. When I opened my eyes again, I was back at the day of the proposals. My sister had flipped her choice from the last life. She was dead set on marrying the human prince. And right then I knew she'd been reborn too. My parents were completely losing it, totally stressed out. 2 clans both asking for a bride at the same time. They couldn't afford to say no to either one. No matter who they turned down, the Phoenix clan wouldn't survive the fallout. My dad just kept going. This is literally gonna get us all killed. My mom didn't say a word. She just quietly studied both marriage contracts. Then she smiled and said, "Don't we still have that servant girl in the house?" "They said they wanted a Phoenix clan princess and they never said which one." My dad's eyes lit up. "Wait, we have 2 daughters." Word was the human prince was disabled and had 0 shot at the throne. There was no way they were sending their precious Ying into that kind of mess. My parents shared a look and smiled, then their eyes both landed on me, the one sweeping the floor. My sister had slipped into the hall and caught every word. She ran straight up and grabbed my dad's arm, saying she wanted to marry the human prince herself. My parents freaked out, begging her not to make such a reckless call. The guy was crippled, short-lived, practically a dead end. Marrying him would basically be a life sentence of loneliness. My mom pushed her to take the heavenly prince instead and live her best life as a celestial consort. After all, the prince was drop-dead gorgeous and she'd had a crush on him before. But my sister was totally calm and collected. She said the human prince used to be the greatest warrior in the land. If she fed him her phoenix blood, his legs would heal. Once he claimed the human emperor's throne, she'd automatically become empress. And when that happened, our parents could come enjoy the human realm's offerings too. My parents were still uneasy, but they didn't push back anymore. Because human realm offerings? Even the heavenly court wanted a piece of that. 300 years was all it would take to turn the Phoenix clan's decline around. I was still wondering why she'd had such a change of heart. Then she turned and smirked right at me. She said, "Little sis, I know you've been reborn too. But it doesn't matter, the Empress seat is mine this time around. That cold, starving, miserable life, that's all yours now. You're used to it anyway." I watched her standing there so full of herself, and I just laughed inside. Human Empress, divine offerings, it all sounds great on the surface. But all of that is just a pretty front. Nobody knew what I was really going through behind closed doors. That human prince? His body had already been taken over by a demon. He acted all righteous and noble on the outside, but he was rotten to the core. He murdered his own brother to seize the throne, and secretly built up a demon army to terrorize the world. I was born with the power to purify demonic energy, so I became the entire demon clan's personal prisoner. That's when I learned firsthand what it really means to wish you were dead. Thank God she was reborn too, otherwise I'd have no way out of that nightmare. Since she loves being the one in the spotlight so much, I, as her little sister, might as well let her have it. On the outside, I put on my best angry and devastated face. Inside, I was absolutely thrilled. Last life, I was the one sent off wearing the hairpin she threw away. But when she got married, the whole Phoenix clan rolled out a path to the sky just for her. 300 miles of red wedding decor. It shook all 6 realms. And the heavenly prince's only response was one word: extra. My sister had dreamed of being a celestial consort her whole life, but once she actually got there, she regretted it. After the wedding, the prince was buried in royal duties, sometimes gone for over a month straight. Rumor was that even after years of marriage, my sister was still untouched. What she really wanted was never the title. It was him, his looks, his body. Living like a neglected wife with no real marriage, and for her, every day felt like an eternity. Eventually, she cracked and started secretly hooking up with the first prince. Once he made her a promise, the 2 of them teamed up to frame her husband. The prince got stripped of his title and banished, and she got thrown into the wastelands too. Once the wedding date was set, my sister was scared I'd run like I did last time, so she had me thrown into the dungeon ahead of time. I genuinely didn't understand. Why even bother locking me up? In their eyes, I was still marrying a prince of the heavenly court. Even if I wasn't favored, it'd still be a step up from this. But of course, my sister couldn't exactly say she knew he'd end up banished. And when it came to her orders, our parents never questioned a thing. Last life, being thrown in that dungeon had me crying every single day. But this time, I was honestly just happy. I sat there counting down to the wedding day, daydreaming about life as a celestial consort. My sister only remembered the suffering from her past life. She never once looked at herself as the cause. It never crossed her mind that she had brought all of it on herself. But celestial consort? That title alone commands respect across all 6 realms. And if things went well, I could eventually become heavenly queen. Even in the worst case scenario, the status alone was still worth something. The heavenly court cares deeply about reputation, and I was the prince's legitimate wife. As long as I didn't do anything stupid, there was a floor to how bad things could get. At minimum, I wouldn't be rotting in a dungeon waiting on people hand and foot. No matter how I looked at it, my future was way brighter than my sister's. She hated that the prince was always too busy for her. Honestly, that sounded perfect to me. Living on your own terms is just better. On my wedding day, my mom tossed me the hairpin my sister had rejected, same as last time. She gave me a quick cleanup, then quietly stuffed me into the wedding sedan. The whole thing was so sneaky, like she was scared someone might see. Meanwhile, the moment my sister appeared, 10,000 phoenixes cried out in unison. She wore a phoenix crown, a 9-colored celestial robe, and rode in on sacred beasts through the clouds. With a wave of her hand, the sky split open and phoenix cries echoed across the mortal world. My mom grabbed my sister's hands, tears streaming down her face. She said the human world was poor and rough, nothing like what they had back home. If they wanted to earn the human realm's blessings, they'd have to heal that crippled guy first. Just thinking about my sister having to give blood every single day. My mom said it felt like a knife twisting in her chest. She urged my sister to just go to the heavenly court instead while she still had the chance. Or at the very least, swap identities with me for now. Let me heal the guy first, then switch back once it's done. My sister hadn't exactly ruled that idea out either. But she knew I'd been reborn too, and she didn't trust me not to sabotage her plan. So she refused, even though it would have been way easier for her. But out loud, she put on this whole show of being a selfless, caring older sister. She said as a phoenix princess, she was meant to carry heavier burdens than others. For the sake of the clan, a little suffering was nothing. As for me, I'd been living in the shadows for years. It was finally time for me to enjoy something good. My dad scoffed and said I deserved nothing. Me, enjoy good things? Someone like me who had been an embarrassment to the Phoenix clan from the moment I was born, the fact that he hadn't strangled me at birth was already the greatest gift he'd ever given me. The only reason I was being sent off at all was because this alliance required Nightglow bloodline. Otherwise, even if the other side was a despised demon clan, he still wouldn't let me out in public to humiliate the family name. Watching my dad beat his chest and wail, you'd think I'd committed some unforgivable crime. My sister sweetly comforted him, telling him not to be sad on such a happy day. She said any hardship she endured would only be temporary. 5 years tops, and she'd have the entire Phoenix clan living off human realm offerings, leading the whole clan back to glory.